What's good? It's your boy Brian, the casual Brian, and I am talking to you about Wano. It's officially over. It's been a very, very long time, but now that it's over, it's time to ask the question: was Wano a bad arc? Now, this almost seems crazy to even say, but for the last couple of days, I've been seeing this all over the internet. A lot of people are starting to say that, Wano wasn't that good. Before I give you my opinion, let me just say I try to go Monday and Friday. So this is the new format I'm trying out. I'm going to go live. So this will be cut from the YouTube video, but I'm going to go live Monday through Friday, Monday and Friday. And then after I go live, I'm going to take that video and I'm going to post it on YouTube. So you can check it out. But on Monday and Friday, I will be going live. What's up? Oh, yeah, man, I'll probably have a lot more people in the stream because I'm live on YouTube and I got the subs. Appreciate y'all stopping by. So what I'm talking about today is, was Wano a bad arc? There's no way I would have thought I would even have considered that thought, Wano being bad. But I think you almost, at least currently, you have to divide it up. There's the anime or the animation, and then there's the manga. And I think that the story had some issues. But before I get into the issues of Wano, I like to talk about what I like. And most of what happened, or most of the things that I like about Wano happened in the anime. I mean, the fight that's happening right now is currently one of the best fights that One Piece had. Period, hands down. The animation is on point. The fight, actually, the actual sequencing, everything is so good. The music, the graphics, the graphic choices, the direction, everything they're doing in the animation in the anime is great. And then we also have, I want to say it was episode 1050. It could be it could be 1015. That was one of the best episodes of anime that I've ever seen in my life. It was like Mob Psycho level. And if you haven't seen Mob Psycho 100 has some of the most beautifully done, intentionally beautiful, meaningful animation that I've ever seen. It's one of my favorites. Um, and I think that One Piece was like right on par with that. And One Piece is not really known for having the best animation. Now, I think that it gets a little bit harder of a time than it should. I think that it started off pretty rough. Most anime does start off rough. I mean, if you look at early Naruto, if you look at Dragon Ball, most anime that ends up being long running, I think starts off kind of rough. So the fights in Wano have been great. The Odin backstory, I mean, that was legendary. Because even though it was Odin's backstory, it also acted as our first real long glimpse into the life of Roger. And it did not disappoint. I mean, they could have stopped right after the fight between the Whitebeard pirates and the Roger pirates. I mean, that was insanely epic. Just so, I mean, so amazing, and I had an idea. I had a concept of what I thought Roger was going to be like. Way better, way better. And I think that Oda kind of changed his character too, because from the very first time we see Roger and he's on the execution stand, he doesn't really seem like that fun of a guy. Then the second time when we see him when he's younger and he has a straw hat, then you start to kind of see, oh, how this guy is connected, how he's similar to Luffy, and how Luffy will ultimately become him because they're the same person, which was completely nailed down by, I want to say it's 1015. I don't want to look it up, but I might just look it up. 1015 was just, oh, the color. I'm real big into color too. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, the animation color can help. It doesn't hurt necessarily, but like using the color correctly. So anyway, I think Wano, anime wise, no matter how they choose to animate. Oh, let me also say this: there's going to be spoilers. Should have said it earlier, but now that I'm thinking about some things, there's going to be some spoilers coming up. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch the rest of this video. So yeah, I think what the anime did, even up until this point, is enough to make it good. You know what I'm saying? Like the fight, the way they handled the nine scabbards losing to Big Mom and Kaido. I thought that was beautifully done. I thought that was absolutely beautifully done. I don't know if it brought me to tears, but I was feeling for him. It was passionate seeing Kinemon like that. I don't know why they chose to make Luffy's hat look so big in that moment. Did anyone else notice that? Like his hat looked crazy big, like double the size it normally is. But that was beautiful. That was amazing. That episode 1015, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just say 1015. If I'm wrong, if you know the episode I'm talking about, it's very heavy on Yamato. Um, it's actually the episode where Luffy sees the 9 scabbards down and he tells Law to take him downstairs. It's that episode. I believe I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure it's 1015. That for me was the high point. Some of the Zoro's fights were good, but if we're talking about the manga, which is just the story, there's some issues. And one of the biggest issues for me is that it felt like from the moment we found out about Gear 5th, everything kind of sped up. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't feel like Luffy achieving Gear 5th and finding out. Well, I guess he still doesn't know at this point that his devil fruit is not the Gomu Gomu no Mi. It's actually the Nika Nika modeled sun god. It's such a weird situation. I think that from there they just started rushing. Oda started rushing. I don't know if he was done. He felt like the fans were done. Just like also like it's the same with like Yamato. We all thought that she was joining the crew. Everyone thought that she was joining the crew. That's all she said the whole time. I'm going to go out to sea with Luffy. Up until like I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, she was still saying that. And then all of a sudden, no, she changes her mind. And nobody from Wano joins the crew. That felt weird. That felt really weird. It was kind of like a guessing game. Some people thought Carrot, some people thought Yamato, but nobody as of now. But Oda likes to have fun, so he may pull a switcheroo. I mean, Carrot might be on the ship. I saw a panel that had like these 2 bunny ears, but when I actually read the chapter, I didn't see it. So I don't know. And I'm okay if nobody joins the crew. We don't have to always have a new crew member. They have a pretty big crew right now, and it's like, what would they do? Like people join for reasons. And so what would be the reason for anybody that would join? Um, yeah, but I just thought that it was kind of a miss. I felt like Oda was building that up and building that up, and then we finally get to the moment, and then she's like, "Oh no, actually, I'm going to stay." I actually wanted Otama to go. That's who I want. I thought, and it's kind of a weird situation because I thought Luffy would want to fulfill Ace's promise, like he was going to come back and get Otama. He was going to take Yamato out to sea. And so, I thought the point of showing that was to show why Luffy would want to fulfill his brother's, dreams or promises. That's kind of my beef with Wano. I felt like Wano showed some stuff and it was kind of unnecessary. Like it didn't really follow through. Like, for example, what was the deal with the Grim Reaper? We still don't know. We still have no idea what the deal is with the Grim Reaper. Was he just hallucinating? Was that like you know, like a side effect from the drug? We don't know. We have no idea. And then that kind of was a great place to pivot. What was the deal with Zoro? This was supposed to be Zoro's arc. And if you compare it to anyone else's arc, it just doesn't stand up. We don't know anything. I don't know anything about Zoro. We don't know why he looks so much like the other guy. They didn't explain that. Who is Zoro's dad? We still don't know that. How did Zoro get to the place where he ultimately ended up meeting his teacher? There's just so much that they didn't flesh out that I thought for sure. I mean, everybody was like, yeah, okay, we're going to Wano. Wano is Zoro's, that's where he's from. We're going to find out all about him. What does snatch mean? We don't really know what that's about. There's just there's too many just what specifically talking about Zoro. There are so many unanswered mysteries that are still there. And I personally feel like, you know what? I don't want them to go back to address it. I don't care. I don't need a Zoro backstory now. All right. You had two Not yeah, you had the initial Zoro backstory. Like everyone gets the initial one, and then they get the follow up. And I just thought the follow up was bad. I didn't think they did a great job in Wano. Um, but aside from that, the pacing at the end and some unanswered missed questions, mostly around Zoro. I don't think you can take anything away from it. I thought it was great. I thought there was some serious twists that were amazing. I love the dynamic between Law and Kid and Luffy. I'm a little sad about that. But at the same time, that's over, and so that's going to make room for something else. I mean, we have a lot of stuff that we need to find out, and I think we're going to be seeing more of Shanks. I want to know how the Cross Guild got formed. There's a lot to talk about, to see. So I'm not too concerned. I'm not too worried. But I mean, especially Law. I don't care about Kid that much. Kid, he was fun. He was funny. I thought the way that he interacted with Luffy was great. But Law and Luffy is just classic. So much so that I just wanted him to join the crew, but he can't do that because he's a captain. But Law is definitely one of my favorite characters, definitely top 5 in One Piece. Um, but that's gonna be sad. But it's not really sad. It's just gonna be an adjustment. We're gonna get used to not seeing Law with the Straw Hats. It's like it had been so long that it kind of felt like Law was a Straw Hat, right? I mean, so I'm really curious as to see what they're going to be moving on to. And I think that also what they're going to be moving on to kind of will shape Wano. Wano opened up a lot of cans, man. And it's like I don't feel like they closed out all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of what happened in Wano is still like okay. I mean, now I can't remember. It was the Reverie when we found out about Eanes. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Who is she? What's the deal with her? You know? I mean, what was the deal with the elephant, Zunisha, saying that she betrayed Joy Boy? I kind of, yeah, I don't think that Wano was a bad arc. I think that the anime is much better than the manga, but I just can't call it bad. There was so many good moments, so many great fights, so many amazing characters, so many great storylines. They handled having so many people involved at one time very well, much better, I think, than they did Marineford. Because Marineford, man, if you weren't, if you don't remember, or if you weren't reading it week to week, it was long, and you would start to forget that people were even fighting people. I didn't really feel like that with this. Also, just Gear Fifth alone, for me personally, I can understand for a lot of people it's not, but for me personally, Gear Fifth alone is amazing. It's just I love Oda not going Super Saiyan. I mean, Luffy did get the flaming hair, but him going crazy and being all like cartoony, I thought that was cool. Do something different. One Piece, that's one of the main things about One Piece is that I don't think it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's about fun. It's an adventure. It's not about uh, you know, well, I can't say that because he does want to be the Pirate King. It feels different. It feels different. It's like to me, no, I can't say that. I was gonna say becoming the Pirate King would be the byproduct of his great adventures, but that's not true. He 100% lives to be the Pirate King. So I don't know. I always enjoy the fact that One Piece is not super serious, and it's all about the adventure and it's all about fun. Naruto got very dark at times, and clearly Bleach gets dark, but One Piece is all about the adventure. It's fun. I love it. So my answer would be no. But I think some people make some very good points about strong issues, especially with the story of Wano. They just really, I really felt like they closed it out pretty bad. It's kind of like watching somebody. I don't know if you ever watch gymnastics and they do those floor routines or the dismounts. You know what I mean? Where they run and they hit the board and they go. I can't remember what the name of that is. Sometimes they do crazy stuff. They do amazing routines, but they don't stick the landing. That's what this felt like. Most of my issue with this with Wano is the end. The end of it felt rushed. Didn't feel I don't feel like I have a lot of closure. Um some of the stuff didn't really make sense. Like Green Bull pulling up for no reason and not really doing anything except getting punked by Shanks. That was cool. Seeing Shanks kind of showing his stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Shanks. I hope that's a trend that's going to continue. But yeah, so I think Wano was great. It wasn't my favorite arc, but it definitely was in my top 3. Apparently, I was looking, there's been 31 separate stories, but not arcs, just separate events. It's up there. It's fun. It was good. I loved some of the reveals. I loved some of the power-ups. Definitely has the best backstory in the anime. And that's another thing that makes it great. You know what I mean? The Roger slash Odin backstory, it's classic, man. It's classic. It's so good. Odin, even though he has one of the silliest character designs I've ever seen, he was a complete Chad. He was an OG. He was a legend. And it just even like Odin's dad being still alive. It's like, why? For what? And nobody asked. And then what's the guy who they killed? He was a smiling guy. Uh Yasua. I can't remember his name. He was the father of the smiling girl. What was that? Why didn't nobody know who he was? You know? It just like I said, and then the guy like basically laughing or like going so crazy that his face distorts and they don't know who he is. Come on, man. Come on. There was so don't get me wrong. There were some flaws. There were some issues with it, but all in all, it was a great ride. It was fun. I can't wait to see what the next one is. Many people think it's going to be Elbath. I think that makes sense, but I don't think that they go straight there. I think that they have to stop somewhere, kind of similar to what they did between Whole Cake and Wano. You know, man, they really built that up. If you think about, because we met Momonosuke and Kinemon in Punk Hazard. How crazy is that? How man, Oda he is a genius. How he just goes in and out and he brings people along for the ride and he drops them off, like Vivi. Oh, Oda is so good. Didn't stick the landing, but he's brilliant. He's brilliant. And I can't wait to see what's coming up next. So those are my thoughts. Yeah, and I'm just, every Monday and Friday I'm gonna be on and I'm gonna be talking anime. I was thinking about talking about the Leon Edwards fight versus Usman, but I thought I wanted to address Wano because it just kind of made me surprised. I mean, is it surprising to you? How do you feel? What do you think about the fact that some people are feeling like Wano was a miss? It was an L, and I just don't feel like that. I just think it was probably not the best ending, and there was some random stuff in there, but there was a lot of great fights, and then we still haven't even got to the best part of this fight between Luffy and Kaido. So enjoy. How about you just enjoy something good? So that's my stream for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for, I don't know if I got any subs, but if you haven't already subbed, please be sure to subscribe. I drop so many freaking shorts every day. So get all the anime content, sports content. I just do takes. I have takes on things. And if you enjoy them, be sure to subscribe. And if you don't, maybe you'll find one you do. Until the next time, take it easy.